said yes. I'm going to call the Municipal Building Commission to order at 5:30 PM. Excuse me, on November 5th, 2025. And for the record, we have Terry DeSisto, Jerry Freecott, Jay Allard, Gail Clark, and myself, and Andrew Acosta. So that means that we have a quorum. And the first order of business, as always, is that the minutes of September 30th were sent out. Does anybody have any comments or questions? Who's going to be my designated mover? Will you be, Gail?
Oh, sure.
Move to approve.
Okay, move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries. Okay. Then, first on the agenda, it looks like the library project, and I see the smiling face of Mark Zawatsky. So welcome, Mark. I know we have one invoice to pay for you, and the good news for you is that Mason has recommended payment. But he did give me an email that told me a whole lot of things, because he's at labor negotiations tonight, but I'm going to suggest that you give us chapter and verse.
Certainly. Okay, so the Attleboro Public Library replacement flooring project. There are two elements to this project. One is the flooring itself, the removal of the existing carpeting and other surfaces. And then there's a predecessor activity, which is the moving of many of the library volumes and some of the equipment and furniture fixtures and related items. So we have two separate contracts in place. We had, so the contracts and all the administrative responsibilities required by under Chapter 149 for the flooring. We had a kickoff meeting just over a week ago. Submittals have been made, materials are on order, and we're on schedule for the closure of the formal and complete closure of the library starting on Monday, December 1st, 2025.
Yeah, so Mason said that we should make sure that we repeat that carefully for the public.
I'll say it again, but I also want to give you an additional date.
Okay.
It's commencing on Monday, the 17th of November, is when the movers will begin to remove volumes of books on the lower shelf or two, depending on which area they're working in, the archive storage room and the children's room, and all the different rooms. So on Monday, the 17th of November, they're going to commence with disruption of services, but the library will remain open. And that will be the case through the end of November. We'll be working closely with Amy and her library staff. And so from the 17th, we're going to have a contract, we're going to have movers in the building. They'll be boxing things up and taking them out. And then on the 1st of December is when the library is formally closed.
And we are projecting that it will reopen on?
The 2nd of January.
But everyone should stay tuned, because construction sometimes is an art rather than a science. And
yes. The way we're phasing this, I can foresee, first off, obviously, the reason that this is being executed in a single phase, the reasons are well known to the Municipal Building Commission and the Mayor's Office and many of those that pay attention to this broadcast. Obviously, life, health, and safety are the most important things. We want to have the carpeting and the flooring allow time for off-gassing and for the indoor air quality to be similar to the baseline prior to the start of construction or better. The contractor owes the replacement of all the air exchange filters, and so all the work that's going to happen in the closed library will enable us to not impact or even be concerned about the impact to the greater community and all of the visitors and stakeholders of the city.
Okay. Mason gave me a note saying, ask about submittals and material lead times.
It's well in hand. All the submittals have been made. Many of the products have already been approved. And we had to substitute, or not substitute, we had to select a slightly darker color in one room, which was acceptable to Amy Rillinger. And she approved that in writing. And so all the materials for the replacement flooring are on order. And it may impact, some of the products have 7 to 10 day ship time or a quick ship program. Others are 2 to 4, others were 4 to 6. But we ordered them in ample time to enable completion of the project. What it means for the contractor, and we don't dictate their means, methods, techniques, or sequences, as you know, but they may have to bop around and start at the 4th floor and then go to the 2nd and then go to the 1st and then go back to the 3rd. So based on the delivery of materials, they will be installing in the different parts of the building. And we're going to be coordinating all of that with the movers so that there is close coordination between these two prime contractors. The mover, who has a contractual relationship with the city, but not with the flooring contractor, and conversely, the flooring contractor in the city, who doesn't have a contractual relationship with the mover. However, we are endeavoring to make everybody work together harmoniously and cooperatively.
Okay. He also mentioned there would be weekly OAC meetings.
Yes, I believe they're Wednesday mornings. In person at the library, and Amy and her team are aware of them, as is the city and the contractors and the architects. So those are all scheduled, and we're looking forward to executing with velocity and high quality.
Good. Mason also said there are no anticipated changes to the schedule at this time. He also mentioned that we have $8,546.20 in contingency, which is tight.
Well, we also have a unexecuted change order credit from the architect for about $11,000 for indoor air quality testing back when the project was multi-phased. Mason held off on taking that because those were, I believe, funds that if the credit was taken without an offsetting ad, they would be lost forever due to the source of funds. So we were holding off on making any contractual, the city was holding off on making any contractual modifications that would have a cost impact to ensure that there were no adverse cost consequences for which we could reapply those dollars from one encumbered contractor amount to another.
So if we get a $10,000 change order, we can cover it. And if we get no change orders, some of those ARPA funds may end up going back, right?
Yes. However, there are other potential sources of reduction in outflows. For instance, Port Construction Consulting's contract is hourly, and because we changed it from multi-phase to a single phase, we believe that there will be some savings that go back to the city at contract closeout, probably in January or February when we submit our final bill. It's likely, very likely, that our services will be less than the upset limit of our contract.
Okay.
I think we're in good financial shape, despite the fact that we were unable to take advantage of some of the alternates that had been proffered.
Yeah, so that was the last point that Mason made in his email to me, was just to reiterate that we were unable to accept the alternates, but the base bid was what we really needed, and that's what we have.
Right, and if there were any other miscellaneous repairs or modifications or improvements, obviously I think there might be some funds available as heretofore discussed, that will enable the city to make sure that it has a completed project that results in good quality, on budget, within budget and on time, and certainly to extend the life of the serviceability and usability of the building for decades to come.
Okay. Commission members, any questions?
Mark, is the contract with the movers a lump sum contract or unit?
It's a lump sum contract, so there are certain line items. For instance, they owe us 300 boxes for staff and personal belongings. If we don't use all of them, there's a credit back to that. So we have unit prices and we have a lump sum. The storage of all of the furniture, fixtures, equipment, books, what have you, that will be removed from the library is all included. The trucking, all dumpster expenses, basically anything having to do with the base scope and services of the contract that are within the four corners of the contract documents, we have contractually bound. Should there be additional work or credits, we'll certainly attend to them during the weekly OAC, owner architect contractor meetings.
Okay, so any maybe inefficiencies with the contractor for performing the work doesn't get handed down with the movers. If the contractor's being inefficient, it doesn't snowball and become an inefficiency with the mover.
Yes, because as I described earlier, we are going to start the moving process and the removal process during the week of November 17th. So it's a predecessor activity to the movers. Now, it is possible that the movers could start a couple of days early, or that not the movers, that the flooring contractor, if it was acceptable to all parties, and we would discuss this at our weekly OAC meetings, but that at the end of the project, let's say for instance the fourth floor was completed and 100%, then the mover, even though the flooring activities might be going on a different level, different floor, that the movers could come back in and begin to repopulate the building should an area be completed. And so there's some of that coordination that goes on because we're trying to work cooperatively in order to reopen the building as quickly as possible, in January, as well as to also avoid impacts to the library team and staff. This is going to be a significant disruption. We have to make sure that all the books get put back in the Dewey Decimal System and alphabetically. So there's a great deal of hand-in-hand working between the city, the library staff, our team, and the two different contractors to make sure that we mitigate and minimize the disruption to the city's library team.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Is Angela on with us, or is it just you tonight, Mark?
She said she was going to be attending, but I guess I'm flying solo.
Okay. All right. If there are no other questions from the commission, anything else you need to add, Mark?
No, thank you. This is a fun project as it goes because we're herding so many different cats and we have multiple prime contractors. And but as usual, the city and the city team, the staff, Mason, even in his absence, and Amy and their entire library board of trustees and staff, everybody's been terrific. Such a high-functioning team, and I'm so glad that I had the opportunity to help the city on this one.
Well, we're glad to have you aboard as always.
Thank you.
All right, so before we dismiss him, let's give him the good news. Shall we vote on paying the bill, invoice number 24-7/10 for Port Construction in the amount of $4,050?
Move to approve. Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Have a good night, Mark.
Thank you so much. Have a great one.
All right, water. I think we have two mats.
Good evening, members of the Municipal Building Commission.
I was going to start by just giving an update on the temporary, and then Matt can take care of the update on the permanent.
Go right ahead.
I figured it was better to come down and be personable rather than send an email. We don't have a ton going on, but
Well, we love seeing you.
appreciate that. It's been a little while, so
Yeah.
just feeling nostalgic. So with the temporary, just had some conversations today. I know Dennis brought up in the past that we're waiting for manganese levels to come down. They had been at about 1 milligram per liter. They need to be below 0.3 to go out to the system, otherwise you send public notices. As of last week, we were at a 0.4 milligrams per liter. We wanted to see if that would come down a little bit more, and with today's test results, we were averaging a 0.2 milligrams per liter, so it has come down to acceptable ranges. So with that being said, we're looking at getting a schedule together to put the plant, the temporary plant online. So we're looking at a tentative date of the 24th of this month. We got to chlorinate a tank, a contact tank, and there's some sampling involved in before startup, 7 days after startup, and 28 days after startup, which Tater and Howard and Matt Barry are going to be assisting with that process. And after that 28-day samples are taken, the water department will be taking over the samples from there. So we just wanted to get kind of all hands on deck for staff, and the startup procedure, and the 24th is what we're looking at for that date with the reduction in manganese levels.
Good news.
Yep.
Any questions?
It'll help with, as you know, we're off Manchester Reservoir now, so Orr's Pond is the sole source for Attleboro's water right now. So with that,
I'm not sure that we know what you were just mentioning.
so we had been on Manchester Reservoir as a source before. We switched over, so we're able to refill Manchester Reservoir now. Orr's Pond is the source for Attleboro water right now.
Oh, so we're refilling the reservoir?
When we have the capability to do so, we are, but because of Orr's Pond being our only source right now, we don't want to put too much strain on that, which makes it all that more important for us to have this temporary plant started up. To get that
Because if you get
gallons.
1 million gallons a day from Mansfield.
Right. We don't have to pull as much from Orr's Pond.
Right, okay. Anything you want to add to that, Matt Barry?
No, I would say Matt Brody summarized that well. We're going to help them through startup and sampling and go from there.
Okay. Anything from the commission?
Would the manganese possibly go up again?
Typically, it's one of those things where warmer weather, it's at its
Right.
highest levels, and we've been monitoring it for quite a bit. So usually, it's a situation where we had been as high as 4 milligrams per liter in Orr's Pond, and then it's just gone. So typically, once it backs off, it's gone, and we've been monitoring it for quite a bit.
Okay.
And
thank
we'll
you.
continue to monitor it throughout.
Yep. Thank
Just
you.
curious, why do we have manganese? Is it because it's in the bedrock and the water dissolves it?
It's just a naturally occurring mineral in this area that we have within Orr's Pond and Blake's Pond for Wading River. In warmer weather tends to react, and it ends up increasing in the warmer weather. Rain can play a part in it as well, but we haven't had much of that lately.
I would imagine when the water gets warmer, it can dissolve more of what's in it, right?
Right.
Okay. All right, so, moving on to the permanent project. Matt, Barry,
The permanent plant, when we last met, you had voted on the recommendation for award, which the mayor signed the notice of award, and the contractor, Daniel O'Connell and Sons, accepted. We have sent forward with the executing the contracts, the bonds, the insurance. All of those have moved through the contractor to the city. The city solicitor, Peter Mello, had some minor comments that he wanted to revise on the signature page, which we are in the midst of doing that right now. Somewhat minor in nature, which I believe Mason had written you a note about. But that should be wrapped up hopefully by the end of the week, and the contract will be fully executed, I would say, by the middle of next week. And we're looking to try to schedule a pre-construction meeting, hopefully before Thanksgiving.
And as Mason points out in his email, November 30th is our deadline to get the contract signed in order to preserve the favorable situation we have with the state funds, right?
Correct, that should not be a problem.
Good. So if there's a pre-construction meeting, what happens next? Do they start with submittals and start ordering things? When will we see something? When will we see shovels in the ground or whatever is appropriate?
We won't know too much on the actual shovel in the ground date, probably until the pre-construction meeting. At this point, I would say it might be tough to see them do any actual site work prior to Christmas, but I would expect probably come the new year, we're going to start looking into their surveyors doing layout, coming in to clear trees, and then moving forward from there. Absolutely, they will be moving forward on submittals. There's definitely a lot of equipment that have long lead times. Those submittals will have to be reviewed and processed and approved. So once that pre-construction meeting hits, it's going to be pedal to the metal and just nonstop work. So part of the requirement of the pre-construction meeting is a schedule. So once that schedule is discussed and sort of laid out, we'll have a lot more answers for you. I would hope by the next time we meet.
Okay, questions for Matt? All right, then anything either of you need to add?
No.
Then thank you for the update. No votes are required. Our next meeting is December 3rd at 5:30 p.m. here. As always, if there's some emergency that comes up and you need us to do something, just let us know, or let Mason know, and he'll let us know, or Brooke. Thank you for attending, both of you, and we'll see you in a month.
Good to see everyone. Thanks for having me.
You too. Take care.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you so much. Take care.
All right. So, anything else that anybody knows we need to do, or? So, looks like at 5:53, a motion to adjourn is in order.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. We are adjourned.
We need Jackie back.